Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. We are late today.
But we're still here.
Hey.
Okay? We're committed to Wednesdays.
We are committed.
We had a little bit of a busier morning than we expected. So, nonetheless, we are here. Welcome to Coffee with the Klines. Today, we are going to talk about...
Three things
that we said we would never do, but we're doing them. Okay? So...
I would never do that.
Yeah.
Never. That's not
we
ever
are all
going to be me. It's never going to be me.
Yeah, we're all guilty of probably saying things like, oh, when I'm a parent, I'll never do this. Or when I'm at this phase of my life, I'll never do this. And we're guilty of that too. So we're going to share. We're going to be a little bit vulnerable here. And
we are.
Share with you guys what probably
this was totally me, this first one.
7 years ago, Devan and Morgan version, some of the things that we would say that we would never do. So
we want you guys to think about some of the things that you also said you'd never do, but you're doing. Comment below if you're here on Instagram. If you're listening to podcasts, welcome.
Yes.
Hi, guys. Okay, go, Morgan.
All right, so this is very much geared towards parenting. So our three things to me is like, ever since becoming a mom, I've definitely changed this mentality. So number one, co-sleeping.
Oh, totally me.
So when Devan and I were having our first baby, like, it was like, no kids in the bed, no babies in the bed. They have their room, we have our room, and...
I should have known better.
We
tried that with our dogs, too.
Yes, we did.
That didn't work.
That didn't work either. So, we have a kid in our bed every single night, for the most part.
Kind of like it.
We do like it. And, of course, Ryan is in a crib, so he does not sleep with us. We don't necessarily co-sleep at the ages of, like, 6 months to 4 years old, because they're, like, in their crib. But when I had like young babies, they were in our bed or next to our bed. Anyway, so
I think it's when they can start negotiating. When they can start negotiating with you, and it's like, well, if I'm a good girl, can I sleep in your bed?
They don't even negotiate, though. They just come in our bed at this point. Like, so there's two reasons why we have
bedtime. There's negotiation. If it's a no, then they're definitely sneaking down midnight.
Yeah. So we have like two reasons. First, we're like, okay, yes, sleep over in mommy and daddy's room, and we make these little beds for Cam and Max. So that's one reason why they're in our room. The second reason is they've started in their beds, but they are always sneaking down in our room at whatever time, 11, midnight, 3 a.m., whatever. So, yeah. And you know what? Sometimes it does kind of stink because you don't get the best sleep, but I think we both have said to ourselves, like, hey, they're only this age for so long, and there will come a day where no one's coming in our bed and we kind of miss it.
Yeah, and I said that's never going to happen, Morg. It's not going to happen. We can't sleep.
Yeah.
How can we run a business and get up early and get stuff done if we can't get any sleep? We can't have it happen. Not going to happen.
Yep. So that's one thing.
Number two,
screens. So we were definitely that parent, like before Cam, and really probably around the time Max was also born, that we were very limited with our screens. And I will say that we are still limited, but we have 2 iPads in the household, and we are. Come on, give us some credit.
I'm giving us a little credit.
They don't have unlimited iPad time. Okay. TVs, like, that's another thing, but I know that's a screen. I'm just saying. I'm justifying it in my own head.
There's iPhones, too, and there's iWatches.
So, we live in a world that's full of
Apple
screens
Watch.
and full of technology, so we kind of have stopped fighting it. However, we still use it as a incentive.
It's like
and
the reward system.
Of, hey, you don't get your iPad during... Like, they don't really get it during the week. They get it on the weekends. Traveling is... that's a godsend for me. Like,
well, you have 3 kids and you're trying to put them all on the plane.
Two parents, like, you need something to distract them.
God bless parents who have the skills and capabilities to like keep all chaos away and all calm on the plane.
Devan and I just
Not for me.
Yeah, we just
Here you go. Here's a screen. Watch.
You
just gotta watch something educational. That's it. Here's Kidopia for an hour.
We just ended a 3-night, 4-day trip to the Gaylord Opryland, and so we're coming off like not a lot of sleep, lots of sugar, lots of stimulation, lots of people, not the best food, but we had a great time and the kids had fun. But we're so glad to be back into our environment and our routine. We're big routine people, although we love the memories that were made. But Screens. So yeah, that's one thing we definitely were like, no, they won't have screens. But my kids have screens. I know that there's research out there that they shouldn't have screens before a certain age because of their brain development. And I think that's all very true and very valid. And so I'm not like promoting it, but I am saying at some point, like Cameron will actually use screens probably next year or the year after in school. Like that's just part of how our kids are.
I'd also like to see the screen studies that are empirical that also promote screen use as a way to educate or develop.
Well, you know what we need to do?
Because you can read biased things.
You got to get blue light glasses.
And I think if you too much screens and then not enough is probably bad. And then somewhere in the middle where you're using technology to educate and speed up the development, or maybe not even speed it up, maybe cement the development. I don't know, something like that. I haven't read them, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I always like to know both sides of the argument. So screens.
Yeah. Do you guys?
They're controversial though.
I want to
for
hear.
parents, that's
I want to
for sure.
hear. Do you guys have that same thought process?
Yeah, they're
about
controversial.
screens?
You see a lot of stuff of like
I respect both
one-sided.
opinions.
Yeah, me too. As much as I have like visions and ideas and I'm creative, when it comes to stuff like this, I have pretty good logic. So like I want to see the left side, I want to see the right side, and and the answer is usually somewhere in the middle.
But I will say, and you agree with me on this, don't disagree. Their behavior changes when they when there is too much screen time, it impacts their behavior. And then we're like, okay, it's too much, turn it off. Like we're not watching it before school, like we're gonna have different routines. So I think there's a good time and place for screens, and it's not on their discretion still. It's very much when sometimes it's a crutch for me, I'll be honest, right? Like I'm still on a meeting, I am putting the TV on and I'm finishing some work, and I have no shame about that. So I use it sometimes as a babysitter, which judge me all you want, but that's just what it is. So
I'm not judging you because
I know you're not. Usually there are people out there that truly judge parents.
Yeah, but they're probably doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And just something to have discourse about, which is great. It's all good and well. What's the third thing?
Number 3. This was the one I chose. So I would say 7 years ago, Morgan.
Let's be real. I drew a blank on all these, and then you started saying them, and I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So you really brought this topic to
all right,
today.
so for me, I would have never considered walking a form of exercise. Like, before I had kids, I was like, workout like 45 minutes a day, like, got to pick up the weights or go to a boot camp or whatever. Like, I was going to burn boot camp every day, and I still get there. But as I've become a mom of multiple kids, I've also had to realize that some days, like, going on a walk is also okay. And just moving your body in different ways is healthy, and it's still a form of exercise. And you shouldn't feel bad when you can't make it to the gym or you can't do something that is in your routine. But I just think moving your body is still something that we should all be proud of and celebrate and make part of our day.
When I was a baseball player, my past life, you'd actually use walking uphill. They'd have you walk on a treadmill uphill as a baseball player to flush out lactic acid. You'd also jog in a light jog, but you didn't want to. You intentionally wanted to stay out of the athletic conditioning zone and out of the taxing your body zone, because there are plenty of health benefits and recovery benefits from walking. And if you get a little stressed throughout the day, go outside and go walk and get some sunlight. About 10 minutes of natural sunlight a day, or you could even do some chromotherapy in your house as a second best if you're, let's say, in Seattle or in Washington where the sun is not out every single day. Yeah, do that. Try to get 10 minutes, get that vitamin D game up.
Yep, it's good for you. All right, so those are our 3 things.
Good movement.
So I was just reading some comments as Devan was finishing that thought. Some of you guys are definitely seconding us on our feeds here. Darcy said eating fast food in the car or on the furniture, I think it was. That's a good one. And I think fast food is a good one.
Our couch looks like it literally has been in and out of a war zone. It's got every type of food you could imagine on it. There's like this one chair.
It's our chairs that are bad.
It's just the chair, not the couch. The couch is,
Because the couch, I can pull off the, I can take the insert out and I can wash it, and it's beautiful. But anyways, yes. eating on the furniture. We've gotten better at that because it was so disgusting, but I let it slip sometimes. So, you know what? Life is what it is.
Is it really letting it slip? Is it, or is it, hey, maybe kids should be a little bit more of kids, and maybe we shouldn't like fill their entire day with things to do and places to be and play dates and disciplines.
I will say that
let them be kids.
This weekend we were in Nashville, like I mentioned, and you really have to lower the expectations. Like if you go on into a trip or just even a day with these high expectations of your young kids, you're gonna be let down. Like 100%.
My patience was tested.
Oh goodness gracious! Both of our patience was tested.
On the way home, I told Morgan, I said, maybe I'll just go 105 on the highway, get pulled over, and maybe they'll just take me to jail for 24 hours so that I can get out of this car. Because Ryan was like on one. He was super overtired, like tired. 4 days,
no
4
naps.
days strong, no naps, and just, I mean, scream after scream after scream at the highest pitch 2.5-year-old volume you could possibly get at in a confined space. I had to physically put my hands on my mouth like this to remind myself just to be quiet and
just get home.
He's a baby, just get home.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about my exit plan.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. He didn't really go 105 miles per
hour.
hour.
It was a joke. I was trying to bring levity to the moment.
I was like, hey, when we get home, go work out. That will make you feel a lot better. And Ryan thankfully transferred from the car to a nap, so I got a little bit of like time. But we've all been there, and trips, they're overstimulating for kids. They're not sleeping good. They're likely consuming more sugar than they normally do. And it happens to the best of us, guys. So lower the expectation and just enjoy what you can.
And yeah, I think that's good advice, Morg. We can end there for today.
All right,
okay.
Cool. Thank you guys for joining us today. This was fun. We'd love to hear what are things that you said you would never do that you find yourself doing today. So whether you are listening live right now, make sure you're commenting and watching this later on, or you're in the podcast, make sure you come check us out on Instagram and come tell us.
Yeah, we're dropping podcasts every day on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, anywhere you listen to them. I think we have our next meeting.
All right.
All right, guys.
2 claps on 2.
1, 2.
1, 2.